Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Just the Two of Us. Let's talk about it. Just wanted to say thank you guys for following. This has been an amazing journey. The next topic we're actually going to touch on tonight is going to be how to co-parent and just how to have a relationship when two people do not have beliefs. Example, one person may believe in the universe, may believe in just Christianity as a whole, and then your other person may not believe in anything at all. So check us out, and I think that this is going to be a very good topic and very informational and educational as well. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Whitney Renee.
This is Omari, aka Dr. Black.
So what we're going to talk about today, as I mentioned before, is how to co-parent or just have a relationship in general, based off of, what each individual believes in or what they don't believe in. So just as a little bit more understanding, I'm going to kind of go into my upbringing and what makes me or what brought me to my way of thinking and my beliefs, and then how it affects parenting with this man over here. So grew up with going to church. My parents would randomly, we would go to like Salvation Army Church, which was weird. We would go to summer camps from the Salvation Army, and then like here and there randomly we would go to a church that they thought that was a good fit at the time. I've been to a couple of Jehovah Witness halls. I would always felt like out of place going to those, but I went because sometimes in the summertime I would spend time with my cousins and they were Jehovah Witnesses. So randomly I'd get a Jehovah Witness to go into a hall on a Sunday, but basically I can honestly say I never actually formally was a part of a church, not growing up. And I think a lot of that had to do with my mom was in the midst of trying to figure out what it is she wanted to do and how she wanted her kids to be. And my dad wasn't having it. He would always be like, I'm not going to church. You guys have fun, go to church, y'all do y'all's thing. Now I would say growing up, I think I am more on the cusp of just discovering. I'm going to call it discovering and just believing in. I always joke around and say this, but really, truly just believing in the universe. I believe whatever you put in the universe will come back out. How you treat people will affect you too. And I don't think necessarily being like a Christian or Jehovah Witness or whatever, if you're praying to whatever God it is that you're praying to, I feel like just because you do that doesn't mean that you're going to go to heaven. It doesn't mean you're going to go to heaven. What is heaven? So, Omari, what is it that, if you could just kind of go over some of the things that you were brought up with and why you believe or not believe.
Here's part two. From my side, I grew up with my grandmother. She was a Jehovah's Witness on my mom's side. On my dad's side, my dad's mom was a Baptist. I didn't really engage too much with my dad's side of the family as far as like going to church or whatever. I went to a couple sessions, whatever, Sunday services. But I was young. I didn't know any better. My grandmother had always told me that, everybody, from my mom's mom to her to, people across the world, they all celebrated the different gods, but every god had their universal meaning to those group of people. So in her eyes, they were one person that everybody celebrated in a different way. And that goes for the Jehovah's Witness side. But as far as my mom's mom, growing up with her, we went to the hall, every Sunday, and they talked and did all their stuff. I held meetings myself at a young age and talked and gave speeches and stuff. Yeah, it was weird. But after I know it was weird, but after my mom passed when I was 11, that's when I kind of threw that entire idea out the window that yes, there's a higher power and there's a God and he exists, and every time some good person dies and they leave the bad people, that's just God taking that good person home, which as an adult now, as an atheist now, makes no sense to me. But that's kind of, the gist of the background.
So when you say atheist, what is your understanding of how an atheist is or is not?
Well, I'm an atheist as I don't believe in a God, period. They don't exist. But that's not to say that I don't believe in a tie to the universe, because when you think about it, it's atheists, from what I understand, believe in science. They believe in the evolution. Before there was anything on planet Earth was a barren rock. There was nothing here.
Yeah, but then in some sense, I feel like if you believe in the universe, but you just believe in a higher power, you also believe in science as well.
There was actually a debate between, I can't think of the religious guy's name, but Bill Nye the Science Guy and this religious guy had a debate about proof that a higher power exists, or why evolution and science were the way to go. And the religious guy couldn't produce any information. There was nothing that he could formulate or bring to the conversation that would disprove any scientific explanation. His rebuttal was always, well, it's just faith, it's just believing, and it becomes a mute argument. How can you say, if put it this way, if factual science can tell you that during the time that Noah's Ark was being built, that it wasn't possible for them to build Noah's Ark, because even professional sailors or boat builders now can't bend the wood and do the different things that the Bible says happened, or that these ark pieces that were found on, I don't remember what mountain it was. It was somewhere out there. There was pieces of the ark were found on this mountain or whatever, and it was like, it wasn't possible. Water levels weren't that high. Boat builders couldn't do the things that the Bible says that they could, and it was just one of those arguments that you kind of looked at the guy, and like me personally, I felt sorry for the guy, because Bill was literally asking him legit questions and he could not produce a valid answer. So as an atheist, it's one of those things like, well, if there's no proof, how can you tell me that something exists? Do you believe in magic?
Are you asking me that question?
Yeah, I'm asking, do you believe in magic? Is magic real?
I don't really agree with magic or not, because I feel like that's a whole nother discussion. But
sleight of hand, magic, I can't make cards come out of my hand. I can't make glitter and stuff come out of my hand.
Well, we're gonna take a short break at the moment, and we'll be back, and we'll talk about how we parent and just how a relationship has been, or our relationship and marriage has been, due to the fact that we have totally different beliefs. So stay tuned. All right, thank you for joining us again. And if you're just now following, my name is Whitney Renee.
Dr. Black here, aka Omari, or vice versa.
Anywho, So basically, just from the whole, okay, so my husband is what he considers or he claims to be an atheist, and I am a person that believes just in the universe, and I just believe that there is a higher power. I believe that because there's just been so many times where I've been in situations, and I honestly feel like just because of my good doings and the way that I am as a person, that someone, whether I know what that is, has been truly looking out for me. I've almost died. I've been in car accidents where the average person don't make it out of. Just certain situations like that, to me, it's like there's something out there. I don't know if it's hell, it could be aliens for all I'm concerned.
They're real.
I do believe, that there's just something out there that is looking out for me and people that are surrounded by me. So whether you choose to agree, we can all agree to disagree, but that's just where I'm coming from. I feel like how it has affected our relationship per se is that I feel like you sometimes are kind of like, I don't think I understand where you're coming from as far as with your mom passing and everything like that, and your theory on, basically why you choose not to believe or whatever the cause may be. But I'm not going to say it's really affected our marriage, but I will say that it definitely changes things when it comes to just our outlook on life as a whole. I feel like sometimes it could turn you into a negative person, just because I feel like if you don't have some type of belief in anything, then you're kind of just walking around just in idle mode. Like you have nothing to look forward to.
But at the same time, that's religion, period. Religious people are very negative, whether you believe that or not. Oh yeah, life is great and God does this and God does that. But when was the last time that you ever heard somebody blame God for something?
I actually have. I know somebody that they're struggling in life right now, and they've actually said, I'm giving up. Like, God, I'm giving up. Like, I'm angry.
But that's not...
I'm angry. No, I'm angry at you because of this and that. I'm angry at you because I feel like, I shouldn't be in this, and I'm following you. I'm believing, I'm praying, and you're just not working. I've actually have heard that.
Yeah, but here's what, and this, remember I had this conversation with you and your father, or with your dad, and he actually came back and apologized to me because he believed that, it was a whole, yes, God is real and this, that, and the other. But whenever somebody's doing bad, it's always Satan's fault. But whenever things go right, it's always, God is providing. But when things go wrong, how come it's not, well, you did this to me. God, you did this to me. Oh, well, I ended up in this bad situation and you didn't help me.
So you're saying people are like, it's Satan.
Yeah, it's always Satan because he's the bad one.
The devil's a lie.
The devil's a lie. Oh, good. But but based on Bible stories, God created everything. He created the universe. He created heaven, hell, the angels, and everything. Well, if God created the angels and one of them got corrupt, how come that's not his fault? Well, Satan had a choice. And didn't God create choice? So whose fault is it really? That's the biggest gripe that I have with religious people. Now, with our relationship, I could care less about that.
Yeah,
it's for me, and I tell you this, I've told Whitney this a lot. If she wants to go to church, I will wake my ass up before her and get her ass up and kick her out of the bed to take her ass and the boys to church. I do not have a problem with that because that's what she believes in, and I'm going to support her.
But I don't believe in,
I know you don't believe in like the whole church thing, but you have a relationship with whatever.
No, that's not what it is for me. And that's what I mean by sometimes because you don't have a real belief, you don't believe in that. My feelings are when I go to church, I solely only like to go to church to listen to the music. it's something about the music where I can always say this. While I've never joined a church, for those of you guys that don't know, my mom is actually a minister, and I have a couple siblings that are faithfully in church. However, I've been to their church several times. I've never became a member. And part of the reason for that is because I've never walked in a church and just felt 100% comfortable. And a lot of my comfort zone is I love music. So it's something about when I hear drums and I see people being happy because they're listening to that music, whether they're feeling it mentally, emotionally, whatever, I connect to that. How I know church isn't for me, because I can never focus in church. And I feel like with church, it's like the church to me is people that share the same interests should be uplifting each other and having those conversations and spreading the word and doing good things.
For free, not asking for collection plates.
Right. And I shouldn't be in church sitting there listening to the word, and I say that with air quotes, but right beside me, I hear, a minister's daughter, somebody talking about somebody in the church. Yeah. I can't focus. So I knew that very early on that was just not my thing. And so I go to Bedside Baptist. And for those who don't know that's with Pastor Sheets and Deaconess Pillows. I stay my butt in the bed on Sunday.
You said Deaconess Pillows?
Yeah, Pastor Sheets and Deaconess Pillows.
Your ass stays in bed.
So, I mean, I'm not making fun of anyone. I feel like you should believe in whatever it is that you're comfortable with and what makes you happy. If you like it, I love it.
But that's exactly why I am the way I am with you. And I encourage you to do those things.
Right, and I understand that. But that's just that's how I feel about the whole church thing. As far as the boys are concerned,
here's my thing with the boys, and this is how it was with the big kids. I will push them. Go ahead. I want you to go to church. I want you to learn from the experience. I want you to see how it affects people. I want you to have that experience. Now, when you get older, we can talk about the things that you have seen and experienced up until that point. I'm going to question the things that you've learned. I want you to tell me and give me insight as to why you want to continue your life believing or not believing. After that, it's out of my hands. I don't care. If that's what they want to do, if that's what you want to do, that's fine by me. I'm not here to push my non-beliefs onto you. Like, you're not here to push your beliefs onto me. We are mutual about that. We are neutral about that. Yeah, you might give me some stuff and I might tease your mom back and forth, whatever, but it's just fun. It's not, I don't mean anything by it. I question a lot of things because I want to know. I want to learn. Maybe me learning something might flip me to the other side.
I highly doubt that.
I highly doubt it too, but there's always that possibility as long as I breathe.
Well, I think that, starting off, and we've been married for 6 years. Oof. And going on, what is it? Almost 8 years together. Yeah. And I don't think we've ever had
we never had an argument.
No.
Or anything like that regarding religion.
No.
Absolutely not.
I would like to encourage everyone to just have an open mind. And a lot of people will be like, well, the next man or woman I get with, they have to have the same
God-fearing and this, that,
and share the same beliefs. I always like to encourage people to say, you can still have a workable relationship or marriage and co-parent without sharing the same beliefs as, your other person. I just think that you have to do ultimately what works for the both of you guys. I would
remember, if it was up to God, you guys would work out.
See, and that's what I'm talking about.
You can't say that you need a God-fearing man. God don't discriminate as long as you accept him. Isn't that right?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm just throwing some shit out there.
Well, like I said, hopefully, people will, have an open mind.
Keep an open mind. Always keep an open mind. Not everybody can be like me. I don't care about a lot of things. When people want to say prayers and stuff before food, I keep quiet. I don't bow my head, but I look around at people and see what they're doing. There's nothing wrong with being respectful. Whenever you sneeze, somebody says bless you. I don't believe in that. So
right.
Just say thank you and move on with your day.
Right. Keep it moving.
Somebody says Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Just say thank you and move on with your day.
Or just say like Happy Holidays to you too.
Happy holidays and just keep it moving. It's not that serious, and I really think that's what people don't get. It's I need a God-fearing man, or I need a God-fearing. Why? You might want somebody like that, but you might not get along with them. Then what? Now you up in church with somebody that you love but don't love and don't like, and y'all relationship is on the verge of splitting up. Now everybody in church is talking about you.
That's true. I have actually.
So why? It's not worth the headache. It's not keeping your religion to yourself, but express to the person that you're with. If you guys are at that level, hey, I like church, I do God, and this, that, or is this something that you're willing to get down with? If no, okay, that's fine. I still love you for who you are. I just ask you to be respectful. Move on.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Ooh, that's deep.
That is deep.
Oh, that's 2020. That's the best line ever.
Bye.
I'm done.
Bye. So, like I said, we just kind of do our own thing, and we don't really, I know I don't really push religion, not even on my own kids, not even my spouse, or even people I know. To your point, just always keep an open mind. Even when it comes to, like I said, relationships, co-parenting, and
that's the important part.
It might be a thing where one of the boys are like you and the other one is like me, and that's something that we'll just have to deal with when it happens.
If it happens,
if it happens, or and the same thing, what if that happens with the big kids?
If that happens, that happens.
So
it's just one of those things. Don't be judgmental because the thing that gets people through life makes them happy. Just because it doesn't make you happy doesn't mean that you need to be negative Nancy or nasty Nate to everyone around you that does believe. Life is too short.
That's very true. Well, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back.
Welcome back. That's the conversation tonight. I want to thank you guys for listening, joining us on this January 9th evening.
Can't believe we're in January.
I know, it's crazy. I hope you guys learn something from that. These are just our own personal views, but we've been together for almost 8 years now, and it doesn't show any signs of us letting up. So we're doing something right. So hopefully whoever listens to this, you learn something and you can apply this to your daily life and maybe pass this on. What's the thing when you pass it on? There's a little thing, just pass it on. But please leave a message, let us know what you guys think, or if there's a topic or anything that you want us to talk about, or just be you and let us know if you feel that we're wrong, or if there's anything that any annotations or connotations that you want to add to the cast.
Also, this was a special request by a really good friend of mine, Kelly. She thought that would be very interesting to talk about. So again, I also want to say thank you for listening. Do you have any shows that you've been watching that you want to point out?
Oh, yes. There's the show that if you haven't already seen it, The Witcher on Netflix is really good.
Lame.
It's whatever. But a really good one. It's a Korean zombie film. It's coming back for the second season in March to wrap up. It's called Kingdom. Check it out. You will not be disappointed.
Also, if you are a fan of Power, I think I'm going to do a special episode about the TV series Power. Right now, I can honestly say I can pretty much tell you how the season is going to end.
Don't ruin it because I will punch you in the throat.
No, I just want to kind of like get an insight.
Okay.
He's really not going to punch me in my throat.
I'm not going to do that to her. I just karate chop her instead.
Anyway, again, I hope you guys are finishing out this week on a very good positive note. And we just look forward to talking to you all soon. Bye.